Gentlemen, oh my God. We had a little bit of a break because we're adults and we're not making any money off this shit yet. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Trolling the Territory. I'm Isaac Riston, and I'm joined by a man who can resist anything but temptation. He is the human Fitbit in the future, Mr. Health and Fitness. I'm proclaiming it in our Lord and Savior's name, who was at Dynamite. Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Howison. Lee, how are you?
There's so many things wrong with what you just said.
He can resist anything but temptation.
Which is amazing. Wait till I tell you what I did this weekend, and you'll take all of that back.
Let's just start with that. Okay, so welcome everybody to the show. This is Trolling the Territory, where we talk about professional wrestling as two jaded, lapsed fans. Yeah. You guys we're back, man. We are back. Not only on the show, but we're also back as a collective community. We're back in front of each other. And I just quickly want to say, we're going to talk about everything that happened this week in wrestling. We're going to go from Dynamite to SmackDown to Money in the Bank, and just kind of give like a recap of all the things that happened in front of people. Money in the Bank was awesome, but the cool part about all of this was just being able to watch a show and not feel alone about your excitement. You can actually see people, like real human beings, and you could see them and you could be like, it's okay to be excited about this. It's okay to be a wrestling fan again.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're completely out of the woods yet. I think we're going to keep mentioning that a lot, but how cool is this?
Amazing.
We're hypothetically, we're kind of on the tail end of all this stuff, which is super neat. But one thing I do want to do, Lee haven't talked to you at all.
No, it's fine.
What the hell's been going on, man? You had a vacation. The last I heard, you ate horribly, and you being the human Fitbit, please tell me, give me the worst day of eating that you had, because I want to make myself feel better.
Okay, the worst day.
Worst day. Yeah.
Okay. We went on vacation, went down to the beach for about 5 days before, and this is a whole separate story. Before, I had to fly out to Vegas for 3 nights to play.
God. Where did you play in Vegas?
Shows. We played at the Resorts World. It's the newest Hilton complex that just opened.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow! I'm looking at the 3D renderings, and then now wow, a black and red building.
It's pretty intense.
The Wolfpack is in Vegas.
Exactly. We'll get to that in a second. My worst eating day was probably we got up, it was like a fried donut breakfast. I think we had I know, I feel so...
Wait a minute, a fried
dirty.
donut breakfast. Please tell me more about this amazing thing that I have not experienced.
Donut breakfast sandwich? Have you ever had one?
A donut breakfast sandwich?
Yeah, whereas like the bread is a donut.
Oh my God.
Yep. And then
what was on your sandwich? No, stop. Wait. What was on your sandwich?
Okay. I mean, the rest is just pretty normal for me. It's just sausage and egg and cheese.
Sausage, egg, and cheese on a donut?
Yeah.
Oh,
so you've never had one?
I've never had it.
Oh, dude,
brother, I haven't left the house unless it's to go to the Kroger. Okay.
Well, you could do this yourself.
Years.
You could do this yourself.
I could. There is a donut. Oh, there's a donut spot really close.
Yeah,
And they close it too. All
So
right.
what you do is you get, if you want to do it yourself, you get
Yeah.
the donut and you kind of make it like French toast. So you cover it in egg or egg white, whatever, and then that's how you do it.
So an already cooked and caked donut. We're talking like a Krispy Kreme hot and ready donut. So I'm gonna cut that down the middle,
half, right? Like a bagel.
And then I'm gonna give it the French toast treatment, which is I only use yolks.
That's fine. You can do that too.
Okay. Oh, okay. And then sausage, egg, and cheese. Okay. All right. Lunch.
Yep. And then lunch was Whataburger.
Oh no! Look, I cannot do Whataburger. I can't. Fuck people. Sorry that get on this whole fight of like who's better, Whataburger, In-N-Out, duh, In-N-Out all day.
In-N-Out's garbage.
You're garbage.
I can't get down. I can't.
The
get
fries
down with
are gross.
I can't get down with any burger that can only be consumed by putting a whole bunch of sauce all over it. In-N-Out is the most boring plain burger I've ever had.
It's like okay, all right, boring plain. Okay, sure, but. I'm not trying to do. Of course, it's fast food.
It's all fast food. So this whole argument, the one is like, well, it seems fresher. I don't want fresher. I want it to be greasy. I want it. You know what I'm saying?
Have you noticed there are a lot of Utes working at these fast food places right now? Because all the people that used to work there don't want to go back to work ever again because of how poorly they were treated during quarantine, and I don't blame them.
Bingo.
But and it's not, but it's a labor. It's binds it. No, it's not. It's just people moved on with their fucking lives and don't want to work at Wendy's anymore when they're 50. But true. One thing, I was in line at a drive-through, and I was thinking, I'm like, man, these young kids are like the line's moving quick. You know what I mean? Like these kids are knocking it out of the. This is great.
Yeah.
So here's like my like I'm stressed. I need to eat. I'm like Vince McMahon. I need to eat something, get it over with, and move on with my day. So I'll swing through McDonald's. I'll get one cheeseburger with extra pickle, a small fry, and a large Diet Coke. Okay. Right?
We can never have a discussion about a burger ever again.
I'm telling you, it's. I have to turn something into poop. Okay, I'm not being picky. I have to eat something, or I'm going to be a grumpy piece of shit the rest of the day. So
that's the best thing I've ever heard.
Well, thank you. So as I'm like in my mind, like giving these accolades to these kids that are just don't even look like they drove to work. You know what I mean? Like they're that young.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, these kids are doing great. You know, I get my fucking bag open, turn on my turning signal, open up my burger, and it's a quarter pounder patty on a Big Mac bun. And all of the pickles are like shoved to the far end of what I'm eating.
Yeah.
But they put on like a ton of those like super tiny diced onions. The fries were cold, and the Diet Pepsi, like they hadn't changed out the syrup box. Like, anyway, I'm sad.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too.
It's a sad state of affairs. So what? Okay, the horrible Whataburger. Did you have like? Were you like Kevin from The Office? Like, what about second lunch?
I just want to say I love that we are on opposing sides on this. I love that you are an In-N-Out, and I'm Whataburger.
If I was standing at an Oasis, okay, off of interstate, whatever, right, and there were all these burger places to choose from.
Yeah.
Okay, if there was a Five Guys, In-N-Out, Whataburger, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Carl's Jr. or Hardee's, depending on which side of the country you're on. Hell, they might even be both. I'm going to go for an In-N-Out purely because it's like when I was in high school. Growing up in West Virginia, we did not have a Starbucks. So anytime I was near a Starbucks, I was visiting it because it was like one of those things like I don't have it. So it makes it that much more of a like I have to do it. I'm there. But at the same time, like I love Five Guys, right? They put A1 and jalapenos on your burger. Yeah, if you like,
I get down with Five Guys for sure. So I just want it to be known out in the podcast hemisphere. The reason you prefer In-N-Out is nothing to do with the flavor. It's nostalgia value. That's it.
Why do you think I watch wrestling?
Oh, fair enough. Okay. We are officially. So if Whataburger is WWE,
See you, fourth wall.
In and out is AEW. I love it. I love it. AEW is In and Out. It's what, Southern California, isn't it?
Yeah, Cucamonga Kids.
There you go. No, so I had that. I am a fan. I like it. I'll eat In and Out too. I don't care. When I'm in the burger zone, I'll eat pretty much anything.
The burger zone.
Then that night, you have to remember, I'm at the beach, so I'm drinking beer all day long on the beach.
Oh,
too.
bless
So
your heart.
I'm doing that. I'm shoveling crap like candy and all types of shit in my mouth.
What kind of candy? Be specific, Mr. Fitbit. What were you, Skittles?
No, I'm not. That's too generic for me. I'll find anything
generic.
anything I can't get. Like I'll find anything. I'll go to
You'll eat a Ritter bar.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
those
yeah,
are
that
actually
looks
really good.
I'll never have that again. Let's do that. I'll just anything. Oreos.
I'm so
golden
secret.
Oreos.
Okay. I'm a secret fatty. Okay.
Okay.
So much so that, like, my wife, we get a couple of things from World Market, right? We get our wine glasses and our plates and everything. That's like the whitest thing I've ever said. Yeah, we get our plates at World Market. Jeez. Every time we're there, they have this whole like international candy section.
Yeah.
And so I'm always walking past and going like, is my wife going to judge me if I put one of these Ritter Sports in my pocket? And
That's
just
amazing.
like, she checks out and I'm like, I got something. Hang on, I'll meet you in the car. And I just get a Ritter Sport and like inhale it as I'm walking out. I haven't done it yet. I want to.
You need to go get some of the British candy from Publix from the UK section.
You know, listen, nobody loves a British Mars bar more than me.
Exactly. Dude, thank you.
Yeah. It's like, okay, but a quick little McDonald's London story. Last time I was there, we were held up leaving. Like it was like the morning we were supposed to leave. Me, our monitor guy, and Jake Gammon, we all get to the Artist Hotel, which was the W over in Chinatown. It's like right at the edge of Chinatown, right?
Yep.
And there's a big old strip over there. There's a giant McDonald's. And so I'm like, well, if we're going to wait, one, I'm going to partake of some party favors that were bestowed upon us by a friend that lives there.
Is that why
and
you're
I'm
at
also
McDonald's in England?
it was in the area.
Not the same, is it?
Not the same. But let me tell you something. Not only did they have the kiosk gimmick, right? This is 2017. This is the kiosk where you can like punch in your order and not talk to a single human being, which was great because I didn't want them to know that I was like, can I please have a sausage, egg, and cheese as soon as possible?
Great.
I gotta get through customs. That was the best sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle I've ever had.
Wow.
It was, and probably because again of the party favors, but it just had like this, like even the sausage had like this, you know, like when you make sausage at home and you cook it over high heat on a cast iron skillet to get the little crispies, right? Little crispies.
Yeah.
Man, it was good. Anyway, you ate like crap. You drank a bunch of beer.
Yeah.
What?
I drank and nothing but margaritas all the whole.
Oh,
it's just beer and
man.
margaritas and shitty food, and I felt great and it was awesome. I mean, I didn't. I felt terrible every morning waking up, but during the day I felt great.
How was the first workout sesh after all of that?
Okay, I have to admit I did work out while I was down there.
Why do you have to admit that?
Because I can't switch it off.
You said it like, look, I'm sorry, but I had to use your bathroom, and I know it said out of order, but I had to go.
I couldn't just completely unplug. That's the worst part. Is like I had to do it. So I did some workouts while I was down there.
I'm like Kurt Cobain. I've been unplugged for years.
Ooh, yeah.
Can we say that? I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Why not? Why not? Hey, news, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We should probably talk about that.
Let's talk about some news. I got one thing I want to point out.
Yes.
Mickey James at Slammiversary. Did you see her?
I did.
God, she looked great. You know who was there?
Who?
At Slammiversary?
Like who else?
Kurt Ozon.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. he, he sent me like he posted like a reel or like a story on his Instagram. I sent him, was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "I saw my first botch."
Amazing.
So I sent him a link to Botchamated. He was like, "This is so cringe."
Yeah, that's
Oh
great. Well, good
man,
for
but
him.
yeah, well, good
him.
for Mickey James.
Yeah,
She's
she's great.
apparently is she back at Impact?
No, I think that they were just, but weren't they just kind of inviting a bunch of different like interpromotional talent just for
I'm
that
not
one?
sure. Let me see here. James returned to Impact's Slammiversary, had a standoff with Perazo. James stated that she was there at Slammiversary to invite Perazo to the NWA Empower All Women's pay-per-view that James has produced. Okay, cool. Right on.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I think that's the best place for Impact to be. I don't really watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. Just I've got too
yeah,
much other
I
stuff to
don't.
do. But
Yeah,
but I think it's a really good place for that particular company to be in, is to open invite interpromotional
right.
talent, and not hold anyone to a contract. You
Which
know?
is what we talked about.
Yeah, exactly. And Mickey James is taking full advantage of that, which is awesome. And she's badass, and she deserves the best.
She does. She
Mhm.
does. And I just got to say it again. Looking great.
Yeah, she's never
Um,
stopped looking great. You know, she's,
You're right, I know, but I just haven't seen her in a minute, and there you go.
yeah,
I tell you what else is looking great. 15,000 tickets have already been sold for AEW Grand Slam in New York City. Did you see about
yes,
this?
I did. Yes.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now. It's in Queens.
Hmm.
It's probably going to be the largest, and this is from Meltzer. This will be the largest crowd in company history and largest non WWE crowd for U.S. pro wrestling since 1999.
Yeah.
Capacity for that was set at 17,000. Gee whiz.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. September 22nd. If you're in the New York area, man, go get yourself a ticket. That's gonna be pretty cool. Arthur Ashe Stadium. Tickets start at $25 plus fees. I just gave them a free plug for tickets that no one's gonna hear. What other news do you have? Anything worth note?
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, there's so much going on with live crowds now. I just feel like that is the news.
That
You
is the
know,
news. You're right.
it
And
trumped everything
two,
else.
yeah, thank God. Um, there's a lot to kind of go through on all of these shows. So I tell you what, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll do. We'll start out with Dynamite. It's going to be a quick form kind of vibe. We're not going to recap the entire show. We're just going to give you what we thought was great and what to look out for, or some things that we just absolutely couldn't stand. And yeah, we'll be right back. Here's a guitar riff. And we're back. Real quick before we kind of jump in, we did miss a week, and we were reviewing the 25-year anniversary of the NWO, and we went to record an entire episode on Bash at the Beach from 96. Somehow, not really sure how, but in the middle of our recording, we use a platform called Zencaster, to which if you're doing podcasts and you're not using Zencaster,
Hmm.
you're an idiot. Stop using Skype. Zencaster is fantastic. There are so many great functions of this website. You can record in straight up wave audio. You don't have to download anything. It's all on a website. But it just quit on us.
Yeah.
And then we had to pick back up and start recording again. We weren't really sure like what happened, but everything looked fine. And we go to end the show and you can download everything. And the first half of the show on my feed did like, it just wouldn't, I couldn't download it. The file was corrupted. I went through because you can select a backup drive to be Dropbox. It's not in Drop, but like I couldn't find it anywhere. Reached out to support. They were like, it just happens. So Lee, I know you got some things you want to say, but go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and then add to that, an incredibly busy next week, and me going on vacation, and then to Vegas, and we we just couldn't make it up. So I would
Yeah.
like to say to our listener, um, I would
Hey,
like
Bill.
um, sorry, that we will get back to reviewing that. We'll do a recap eventually, maybe in a few weeks. But
Yeah.
the plan was always to come back once live crowds came back to um, the modern product and
Yep.
review that. So we're going to do that for the next few weeks, see how it unfolds, and we will come back to the Nitro War. Sorry, Nitro War. The Monday Night Wars with Raw and Nitro in '96.
Well, I mean, we're on the way to SummerSlam, and John Cena is kicking off Monday Night Raw tonight.
Yeah, I know.
We've got a lot to dig into. Quickly though, Dynamite, first time above 1 million in a minute. They had 1.025 million people watching Dynamite. Not bad.
Yep.
I will say this. Did you see Rusev's vignette?
I did.
Starts out, he says, there was once a man who was rich, and he had a hot wife who could do the splits. He was hot too, but he was lost. This guy is such a goon.
Yeah.
So my tap out, I'm going to start with my tap out. Did you have a tap out?
I did. Yeah.
I got 2 of them.
Oh. Well, I could have picked more than one, but I picked one. What was
I
yours?
had to. So the first tap out was Moxley versus Carl Anderson.
You know what? I'm really glad. I agree with you.
Yeah.
That wasn't my tap out, but I'm gonna agree with that.
Well, I mean, I've got another one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Hardy versus Christian.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
you didn't care.
Yeah, of course I don't care.
Right.
Like, why would I like that is such a really good match on paper that you could have easily like had way more to do with that.
Yeah.
I would have saved that for the New York show.
Yeah, they didn't. There's no build to it. There's nothing. It's just, oh, by the way, we're going to do this 23 years in the making.
Yeah.
It's not really 23. It's more like 23 hours in the making.
Yeah. 23 minutes in the making.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when Dustin and Cody wrestled.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool because we were starting everything. And then after, obviously at the end of the match, like, I don't need a partner. I need my older brother. Like, it still gives me goosebumps. Like, that was just one of the coolest. And they're just covered in blood.
There was still more build to it. Do you remember?
Yeah.
There was still some weeks leading up to that match.
Right.
Which is why it mattered.
Yeah. What was your tap out?
Penelope Ford versus the Magical Girl.
Didn't even watch it.
Whatever the fuck that was.
Didn't even watch it.
I tried until I saw some horribly awkward, like, botched move, and then I fast forward the rest of it. But
they put those at the wrong spot, man.
Yeah, man.
That match should have been earlier in the night. Ricky Starks and Brian Cage. I got my 1 count.
Me too. Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, we're like pretty much par on par. What's going on?
I don't know. Must be something in the water. Ricky Starks had a big old pop.
Yeah.
And he is like young Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just got this thing, Good match. Brian Cage kept him like. That doesn't matter if he lost the title. It's a fake bullshit title anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you. The title itself doesn't matter. It was the match and what it signified.
And 2, the belt looks kind of dirty. You think we can get somebody to get some like CLR or something on there, like dip it? Don't talk about goo in front of Jim Cornette. 2 count was my Cody Rhodes promo on Malachi Black, but the thing that kind of creeped me out was Black talking about how he witnessed a dude shoot a horse. Like, first off, where the fuck were you? You're just like walking up onto a guy euthanizing his horse.
Right. Yeah.
It's so weird. You can even hear the crowd kind of go like, why are we talking about this? This is weird. What was your 2 count?
My 2 count, believe it or not, it was just for the quality of the match. It wasn't it was nothing to do with the build. I do agree with you that it didn't matter, but my 2 count was Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage.
Really?
And it was only because of the match itself. That's it. In a vacuum.
I mean, yeah, in a vacuum, sure. Like the test of strength, right? You know, the collar and elbow tie up for a minute and a half. Like, are you proving a point? Like, right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they didn't go over the top with it. It was just a good pro wrestling match, which, you know, that gets to me as a pro wrestling fan. But I could also tie it with the out of the blue chair shot to Jericho's throat, which I was so happy about.
Yeah, that would be yeah.
No, listen, I could give a crap about what he's saying, but it just came so out of the blue, and I'm gonna give it to them. They did that really well, that spot. I just, again, in a vacuum, I liked that part, that promo segment. I liked watching Jericho get hit in the throat with a chair.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't really care for is if you are doing that kind of a segment, like, and if the people have left the room, why are there not people coming into the room checking on him?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think we're beyond that with that company, aren't we?
You're right. All right. Hey, did you see Jesus in the crowd?
Well, I was in Vegas this weekend.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that was great during the coffin match. I didn't watch too much of it. I kind of ran out of time. But I'll quickly. First off, what was your 3 count?
It was that match, the coffin.
Really?
Match. Yep, Darby Allin versus Ethan Page. And I was really, really clever. Really, really. That was not the word I was looking for. Really, really. I wanted to specifically watch each match in a complete vacuum, so that I could take myself out of any preconceived notion that I've had about this company. That's why I didn't really watch many promo segments. I've been skipping past them because it takes me out of it. It reminds me, when I watch the promo segments, it reminds me of how amateur like the talent is sometimes. So I just wanted to watch the matches. When I watched that, I was like, you know what? If there was nothing else on the show that was like it, this was really fun.
Yeah. Okay.
You know? Like, and I think they did a good job putting that last. I don't even know if there were other stuff, like other garbage death match shit or hardcore style matches on that card, because I skipped past a lot of it, you know? So,
yeah. Did you see the Britt Baker thing?
I didn't.
She just cut a promo about Nyla Rose, who still has Vicky Guerrero, which Vicky Guerrero wasn't with El Idolo. How do you... Andrade. How about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly could care less about Vicky Guerrero.
And they're still giving him subtitles. Andrade. Yeah. He did a pre-tape with the Alex Abrahantes.
Okay.
And he's asking him, where's the death triangle? And he's like, I want you to give them a message. El Idolo is looking for them.
Oh, fun.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let me go. I want to wrestle some more WWE guys. Yeah. My kick out was Jesus ringside. That was my kick out.
That's great.
Yeah, look at my notes. I got a picture of Jesus. He's extending his hand out.
You know what? Let me bring this up because I didn't. I'm completely not prepared today.
He was trying to help up. He was extending his hand to Ethan Page, and there's just Jesus in a white robe and a red sash.
Oh,
yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I'm getting there. That's awesome.
All right.
Well, that was my my 3 count was that match just in general. What was your that was your 3 count? Or
That
your,
was my
just that?
I 3 count. It literally says didn't have one, and I didn't watch the coffin match. So
all right.
yeah, I would have imagined that my 3 count would have been the coffin drop match thing, casket match. And apparently Darby did a coffin drop on the closed casket, smashing it, and Ethan Page beneath him.
Yeah.
He needs to chill.
He does. I mean, I picked it apart at first, right?
Okay.
Picked it apart and thought, okay, how much of this was like really phony and staged, and how much of this looked like just a crazy person getting into a fight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they didn't drag it out too much. I think that he did a good job making it look violent.
Okay.
I mean, there was a little bit of an obvious spot where he went down to the floor while the coffin was closed and dragged it into place. But knowing that, I think the reason that he had to do that was to give Ethan Page like hey, you got 10 seconds until I'm coming crashing through now kind of deal. Because it sat down after he won the match. It sat down there for a little while.
Right.
So I thought it was still done pretty well. It's not like it was a super high drop by today's standards. We've seen Darby Allin do far more dangerous things. So
like that one point where I thought they were going to throw him down like those entire flights of stairs, or like throw him off the building or something just ridiculous like that.
Yeah,
exactly. It seems like something that they would do.
And I've honestly, I'll be honest with you, he's a very small guy. Sometimes when I see him do those coffin drops, they don't look painful to me. So watching that and seeing him smash through, albeit a gimmick coffin, it made the move look a bit more legitimate to me.
Sure.
So I'm okay with it.
All right.
I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Not to steal your thing.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. All right. Well, okay. So AEW Dynamite. Yeah, watch it. There's a live crowd, right? Jesus was ringside.
And Jesus was ringside.
I am here to expel the demons. SmackDown.
Yes.
Vince McMahon.
That's amazing. Come on.
Where the hell have you been?
And then he just walks away.
Walks off. Vince McMahon is not senile. He has all his faculties. God damn it.
He is. Come on. He still knows.
There's no sickness.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was my 3 count.
Boom. That was it.
That was it.
Oh, right. Can't get any better than that.
Well, when I cut it on, right, it was Friday night. I guess everything was all right. I had let's see, my wife was out of town this week. So obviously things got real weird. And by weird, I mean, I just played bass really loud all day. Didn't cut the grass until Thursday. No. But I remember I was like, man, this is going to be great. Like I was gearing up for it. I even texted the group. I was like, here we go, man. Tomorrow night, let's do this. And seeing the package that they put on, just like being like, hey, you're like, welcome back kind of thing to all the fans. And, then they did the pan over, showing the whole arena. And I'm like, man, who's going to get, like, whose music is going to hit first, right? Which, by the way, seems like everybody got new music. Outside of the people that like have like Shinsuke, right?
Yeah.
He's not getting new music. Finn, he's not getting new music. Sure. But it seems like Carmella had new music.
Well, she's had that for a little while now. But we haven't watched it, but her whole new package.
To me, a lot of people had new music, and I don't like Roman's new music at all.
Oh.
It's not good.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like. He should have kept the Shield music. That's such like it's such a mistake
because it's instant heel heat.
It's yeah, exactly. Because it's like, of course I want to boo that. Come on. But then again, that's one of those CFO tracks, and I think they're trying to get rid of all of those.
It doesn't offend me as much as it offends you.
Well,
it offended me when it first did it. When they first did it, it was like half a track.
Yeah.
And now at least it's filled out. It sounds more like a rock song.
It sounds like a James Bond video game ending credits music.
Sure.
You know?
I'll absolutely give you that. But you know what? I feel like that's what the whole freaking industry is now.
Which is sad.
It is sad. But it doesn't offend me that much. I'll be fair. I do agree that if they had kept the original, I think it just annoys the shit out of everybody.
Christ, I can't do the thing without dying. Yeah. What was your 3 count?
3 count? Well, I'm going to start with my 1 count.
Start
first. My 1 count was Vinnie Mac. that was.
Do you want to know? Now that I've ruined the order, do you want to know what my 1 count was?
I would love to know what your 1 count was.
Davey Boy Smith Jr. wrestled in the dark match.
Okay, all right. I thought you might put this down here. I didn't put it down because it's not televised, so I didn't watch it.
Fair, but it's fair. Fair. I didn't either. I haven't even really seen that many. I haven't seen that many of his matches, but still, it's kind of neat.
I read about it. Yeah, it's awesome. It's great. I can't wait to see him.
11 years or something like that.
Yeah. And also there was a segment in the Carmella and Bianca Belair match where Pat McAfee actually mentioned Davey Boy Smith. I don't know if you caught that in the middle of that match. So, yeah, gave a good a little shout out, not to Junior, but to Davey Boy. I think it was Belair. It was did a standing suplex out of a submission hold. That looked really impressive, and it was
that I remember that was a great. That should be an honorable mention. That match between Carmella and Bianca.
Yeah. Honorable. Let's do that. Honorable mention for sure.
Yeah.
She's getting better and better. And now that it's in front of a live crowd, I think she's really going to open up now.
She's just mean, man.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah, sure.
Both of them. I'm going to give you my kick out real quick.
Yes.
Just because you brought it up. Pat McAfee on commentary is my kick out.
He's so good.
He's incredible.
Yes.
He is absolutely incredible. Yeah. I like everything. Like he needs no coaching. And I saw him take off his headphones, and I saw that he had ears in.
Yeah.
And we mentioned that before. I think I figured that out, but he's killing it. He just sounds so big time. He's saying things that like a fan would say, not a puppet. Yeah. And no offense to Michael Cole. We've all heard he's a great guy. But man, Pat McAfee is just on a whole different level. I used to think Corey Graves was great. He still is, but McAfee is just in his short amount of time on commentary on SmackDown. It's like that's the feel
in a different way. Yeah, he's just great.
I wish he was on. I wish it was Cole and Pat on both shows.
Yeah,
I would love that.
How we went from absolutely despising Michael Cole to now he's actually bearable because he has somebody to balance him.
McAfee, look, Michael Cole was great with Corey Graves. Michael Cole was great with JBL. Michael Cole was great with JBL and Byron Saxton. But sometimes when it's Michael Cole saying it's boss time, can't do it.
The thing with me is even with all of those other people, there is something still very WWE tamed about all of them. Everyone you just mentioned, JBL, what was his name again? Corey Graves. They're really good at what they do,
Yeah.
but they just reek of WWE. The thing that I hope never changes with Pat McAfee is there's something unhinged about it.
Yeah.
And that's what balances out the
Him
Michael
wearing the
Cole thing.
Canadian tuxedo, man, the Calgary Stampede outfit,
That's
like,
awesome.
God, he looked great.
Yeah. So long
yeah.
may it continue.
I hope so. I hope nothing weird happens and he doesn't get offered a job by UFC or something. You know what I mean? Like,
I know. Yeah.
What was your 2 count?
My 2 count was the triple threat. Rollins, KO, Big E.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just again, my 2 count seems to be pretty consistent. It usually gets the match of the night.
Wasn't Nakamura in that match as well?
Oh, was it a 4? Oh, yeah, there you go. Sorry.
Yeah.
It wasn't triple threat. It was a 4-way.
I was like, God, did I not watch the right week? Maybe. Wait, hang on. There were people there.
Maybe he wasn't in the match. Maybe. I guess he wasn't that important.
He was on the outside waiting for his turn.
Yes, that's what I mean. Sorry, Seth Rollins winning that match. That got my 2 count.
Yeah, it's talking about SmackDown, and then we're going to talk about Money in the Bank, but just everything that ended up happening.
Yeah,
pretty neat. My 2 count was Finn Balor coming back out and interrupting Sami Zayn and doing the typical WWE finishing move assault.
Yes.
Where it's like, I'm here. Here's my finisher.
Boom.
It's like, okay, Gordon Ramsay's going to walk in. He's going to lay down. What's the big bun of meat? What is that called? That they have you know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
It's like it looks like a giant dinner roll, but it's got a beef Wellington. Gordon Ramsay's going to walk in and sit down a beef Wellington and walk out.
A Yorkshire pudding, if you will.
Yorkshire pudding. Oh, I'd much like some figgies. How was that? Almost sounded like Russell Brand.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Anything else about SmackDown that you want to mention?
I thought it was pretty telling that even after the DUI, they gave the Usos the main event. That was my 3 count.
Really?
Yeah, that whole segment, like Usos, Mysterio, like the send off into Money in the Bank with Edge doing the submission with the broken chair piece on Roman.
And that was crazy that they put that at the top of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it
it didn't make it was the pre-taped earlier, wasn't it?
I mean, look, the pop that Edge got though.
Yeah.
It was huge.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm there were some things that happened to Money in the Bank. Well, you want to go ahead and kick it in?
Sure.
Let's do it.
I just want to say that my tap out.
Yes.
I did have a tap out for SmackDown.
Okay.
I don't want to see Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Knox. Ever.
I just completely blistered through that. Like, I don't remember any of that happening. I don't even care about Liv Morgan.
See, it's a shame. Like, I want to care about her because I will say that whole part of them on commentary during that match, which I don't care about the match, but that them on commentary just like bickering back and forth and like that was the only part I cared about that match was them and then their brawl afterwards. I'm like, I didn't care about any of the competitors in that tag match.
Yeah.
And I want to care about Liv Morgan, but we're going to talk about this in a second in Money in the Bank. In that match, in fact, I'm just going to talk about it right now. You had Alexa Bliss come out and then Liv Morgan come out to seemingly what should have been Alexa Bliss's theme music.
Yeah. Okay.
They're too close. Their characters are too close. It's so weird, and their makeup and it's.
All right, real quick, production. We got a new entrance.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It looks great. I'm for it. I'm for the giant screen. One thing I want to ask your buddy Jake.
Shout out. I was just gonna say, shout out to Jake Bages. I know that he's been working for them for 7 years. I saw him post something on his Facebook.
Okay.
Those guys, to all of you, you
Yeah.
guys do such an amazing job.
Seriously. And here's one. If we ever get Jake on the show, I have a pretty good guess of what their trucks are looking like now. Because WWE is smart. I don't know if you even looked at the trussing over the ring. They have scaled back a lot of lights and rigging points. Specifically, I think they have shaved off 10 semi trucks without having a stage and a ramp. And you also notice it looks like they've increased the amount of people they can fit on the floor because the entrance aisleway is smaller.
Huh.
Because they don't have to account for this giant ramp. So I'm sure they're probably able to fit 3 extra seats on both sides now. So they've done a little bit to get more out of what's going on. But that's something I'm super interested to find out. Hopefully we can get Jake on the show and just talk like real dumb, nerdy stuff like that.
He's ready to go whenever we want it. Is what
well,
he
by
said.
God, I'll tell you what. Listen, folks, we'll work on this behind the scenes. We'll put out a special episode where we talk to a member of WWE's production staff.
Yeah.
And hopefully he can, we can talk nerdy and just talk about load-ins and load-outs. And one thing he may not have much knowledge about this. I want to know how long a merch count in and count out for a WWE televised event is.
Yeah.
And I want to know about it pre-COVID and post-COVID.
Who do you talk to about that? Because I don't know anyone in the merch world.
I don't either, but I think that's just like, here's a reference or a something to put in your feed. Jeff Jarrett's show is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, as you say, minutia. We're getting real granular. They go horde with facts and figures, and when that whole podcast started with Bruce, it was a lot more funny, haha, and like, no, I'm keeping the business serious. This is just a straight up, I don't know, autobiography.
Yeah.
I mean, just to hear him be so vulnerable and honest about stuff in a business that we, for a long time have just heard nothing but like super shady and backstabbing kind of things. And he's in the middle of it. Yeah. He's worked for everybody. He's experienced it all. It's not just a one-sided opinion or thought process like Bruce or like Kurt. I haven't even listened to a Kurt. I listened to the first Kurt Angle show and I was like, nope, this guy is boring. I'd like a Mick Foley show.
Yeah, of course. He's fantastic.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about other people's podcasts. You want to talk about Money in the Bank?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
know that you've made 3 count. No, I didn't. To me, it was just kind of, and we can talk about yours for sure. I figured it would just be good to talk about the standout things about this show. The things.
Well, let's start there. Okay. Let's start with your, what did this pay-per-view or pay-per-view, God, what did this subscription view what did this succubus of event do for you?
This succubus, it made me realize how important fans are to wrestling.
Yep.
And I really liked the subtle making the fans closer, the guardrail on the ramp.
Yep.
I thought that was such a minute detail that was really important. It just made it feel like they are equally as important as the talent, which, man, yes, they are. Because having watched this long or tried to watch in front of TV screens, it was terrible. So that was my biggest take, was this felt awesome because of the fans.
Yeah.
they just watching, and I know that I can be sometimes a WWE stooge. I know that, but there's just night and day. The production value, how snug the matches are,
Yeah.
everything is just it just feels like a big time show. Even the crappy matches feel like a big time show, and that's fine in comparison to AEW, and that is totally fine. It's supposed to be an alternative anyway, but that's what
Right.
it felt like. The comparison to me, it was just like, oh yeah, this is what a professional product's supposed to look like.
Yeah, dude. Especially your nail on the head.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I felt normal.
Yeah, I did, and that's the thing is you said, hey, make sure you check out AEW. I want to we should talk about that this week as well because
Mm-hmm.
it was actually an okay show,
It wasn't bad.
and there were points. Like I said, I watched those matches in a vacuum. There were
Mm-hmm.
points I'm like, yeah, you know what? For what this is, I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So but this was just felt like a big show. That's what it felt like, a big fight night show.
It had a big show feel from start to finish.
Yes.
IMO, as
Yep.
the youth say.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll kind of just run through the card, and I'll kind of point out my 3 counts and what have you. SmackDown Tag Championship match: the Mysterios versus the Usos. I'm glad the Usos won. The Mysterios do not need to be tag team champions.
Nah.
Dominic. I only think of of Kindergarten Cop when that son of a bitch is out. That son of a bitch. Exactly, Dominic.
Oh my God.
Do you also live in Astoria? Who are the bad people? That's the worst Arnold ever.
No, it's so good. Are you kidding me?
You know what was better? Women's Money in the Bank match.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I liked Alexa Bliss's intro or entrance.
Her new music is better.
Her new music. God, I've had 4 cups of coffee, haven't I? What I liked more was the way she stood on the ropes while everybody and just stayed there.
Yeah.
Like a fucking gargoyle. That was badass.
Yeah.
If she could win a match and not be pinned by a bunch of ladders, that would be great. And guess who won the match? Nikki A.S.H.
Yeah.
What? I don't even know. I'm so glad that everybody gave a fuck, because like if that pop wasn't as big as it was for her winning, I kind of would have felt bad for Nikki, you know?
Sure.
And I know this is a gimmick that she came up with herself, and she, like, cool, awesome. If that's who you want to be, almost superhero Nikki, please be that.
Yeah, absolutely. And most importantly, in collaboration clearly with Vince McMahon, because he figured out a way to cover her face. Sorry, moving on.
Oh my God.